What does the Wall Street Journal know? They've been wrong about everything. So have you, by the way. You've been wrong.
You're trying to turn this. You're trying to turn this.
You've been wrong.
No, you're trying to turn this into debate. There are business people. There are business
you're wrong.
people.
You've been
they're
wrong.
clapping.
You've been wrong
Yes.
all your life on this stuff. Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of California.
Newsom.
He signed Newscum, I call him.
You think?
No, he corrected me. He corrected me. I said,
There are businessmen out here. There are CEOs financially armed to the teeth. And Donald Trump sat down with Bloomberg.
Nice art.
Which is a lot of fun. He sat down with the editor-in-chief. I want to make sure I get this name right. John Micklethwaite.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So. Let's go with that.
It went about... And I like this Donald Trump because he seems relaxed. Sometimes this happens when you're maybe a little bit tired from the campaign trail. You don't think that this interview is as consequential, and you're just a little bit loose. He seems to be having fun with it, and he just doesn't care. You can see the moment where he realizes he has no respect for this interviewer, and he treats him like a father disciplining a child. Let's go through the top three, plus a bonus moment. Donald Trump, here he is with Bloomberg, the publication on tariffs, I believe.
there are no tariffs.
You're going to stop. There are tariffs already
No,
at the
there
moment.
are no tariffs. All you have to do is build your plant in the United States, and you don't have any tariffs.
People, a lot of places like this, there are a lot of jobs that rely on foreigners coming here. You're going to basically stop trade with China. You're talking about 60% tariffs on that. You're talking, as you said, 100, 200% on things you don't really like. You're also talking about 10, 20% tariffs on the rest of the world. That is going to have a serious effect on the overall economy. And yes, you're going to find some people who will gain from individual tariffs. The overall effect could be massive in terms of the economy.
I agree it's going to have a massive effect, positive effect. It's going to be a positive, not a negative.
Well, let
me just tell you. Let me
give
tell
me
you.
an
I know
example.
how committed you are to this, and it must be hard for you to, spend 25 years talking about tariffs as being negative, and then have somebody explain to you that you're totally wrong.
And the reason is because objectively, look, like I said, he has a leg to stand on. At a certain point, you go, you know what? I was president. I don't know if you know this, for a good spell there, things kind of were doing well.
Yeah, we had tariffs. They still have them now. They've actually added to them. I'm not sure if you've checked into this administration.
Here's and by the way, also, just so you know, he goes on to clarify that if these goods or raw materials are not made in the United States, no tariff.
Yeah.
Because that's necessary, because unfortunately, we have offshored a lot of manufacturing. There's some things that you can't get in the United States. So if they don't make it here, no tariffs. If they make it here, and it's something that you can get in the United States, you decide not to make it in the United States, there's a tariff. I think it's pretty sensible. And by the way, I used to be a libertarian who actually, my God, thought that free trade was a good thing. It would be if you weren't dealing with communist nations who are ripping us off. I've changed my mind.
Yeah,
Can you comment below if that's you? That's me. I'm no longer a libertarian. I definitely lean nationalist at this point because borders exist for a reason.
And Trump didn't say that, but one of his surrogates did, explaining his position.
Well, it's part of his policy, is my point. But your own audience, Bloomberg is not with you, and you'll see it. And the left tried to take this next one and make it seem like Donald Trump is losing his mental faculties. He answers the question in a completely unrelated way. No. What he's doing is it's a question that provides him an opportunity to bring up something that everyone should be discussing. What we discussed yesterday was going on with Virginia in the voter roll. So he just goes, I'm so glad you asked. Let's talk about voter fraud, and goes back and ties it to Google. So here he is, asked about Google and big tech.
The US Justice Department is thinking about breaking up Alphabet, as Google likes to be known now.
Love the soup.
Should Google be broken up?
I just haven't gotten over something the Justice Department did yesterday, where Virginia cleaned up its voter rolls and got rid of thousands and thousands of bad votes, and the Justice Department sued them that they should be allowed to put those bad votes and illegal votes back in and let the people vote. So I haven't gotten over that. A lot of people have seen that. They can't even believe it.
The question is about Google, President Trump.
I think it's a whole rigged deal. I think Google's rigged just like our government is rigged all over the place.
You would break them up, in other words.
I'd do something, but you have to have, look, I give them a lot of credit. They've become such a power. It's such a power, and you got to give them credit for that. How they became a power is, really the discussion. At the same time, it's a very dangerous thing because we want to have great companies. We don't want China to have these companies. Right now, China is afraid of Google.
So that's one of those things where the media will just sort of gloss over and say, of course, you have Donald Trump who doesn't understand nuance. That was actually too nuanced for Micklethwaite, whatever his name is there at Bloomberg. And here is Donald Trump being less nuanced, but I just love it. We had to fit this in. It's a bonus. Burning the Fed chair, Jerome Powell. Watch this.
You say you don't want interest rates to go higher. You've gone backwards and forwards about whether you want to keep Jerome Powell as chair of the Federal Reserve. His term as chair runs on to May 2026. Would you seek to remove or demote him?
Look, I think it's the greatest job in government. You show up to the office once a month and you say, let's see, flip a coin. And everybody talks about you like you're a god. Oh, what will he do? I mean, before, the guy used to walk into my office, he was like begging, he was fine.
But you did talk you talked about removing him once.
I did, because he was keeping the rates too high.
Yeah.
And I was right.
Did he say he was fun or he was fine?
Fine.
I thought he said F-U-C-K.
No, I don't know. Is that what he said?
No.
I think he said,
No, it would be much cooler if he did.
He would come up and, hey, he's fine.
Yeah.
You see, it's like, there's no respect. And
I know. But listen to the audience's reaction when he goes, it's the best job in government. You walk into a room, you flip a coin. The people in the audience go, exactly.
Well, before he even flipped the coin part, he said it's his best job in the world, and
Yeah.
they already started laughing.
Yeah, they know.
What's so funny, though, is that it's so clear now. Remember back in the day, Occupy Wall Street, where basically they were sort of regurgitating some of the Tea Party talking points, only they kind of wanted to move it towards socialism. It's so clear now that the left is the party, the Democrat Party of Wall Street. Right? They want to say, well, actually, look at these. Trust the financial experts. Trust those in authority in government. Trust your professors. Trust the science. Don't you trust Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal? Don't you trust
The Fed chair?
Goldman Sachs? That's I don't think they could possibly, if someone wrote down a game plan, said, okay, we have to make you look like elitist pricks. They couldn't do it more effectively. And by the way, Donald Trump is right. I don't know if you know this. Most hedge funds underperform the S&P index. They've done it where they've just made random picks, and it does just as well as the experts with the beige books. Let's be really clear about this. So Donald Trump takes this head on, and boy, does he give a spanking here to the interviewer and Gavin Newsom.
People like the Wall Street Journal, who's hardly a communist organization,
Yeah, but you don't know.
they have criticized you on this as well. You are running up enormous debt.
What does the Wall Street Journal know? I'm meeting with them tomorrow. What does the Wall Street Journal know? They've been wrong about everything. So have you, by the way. You've been wrong.
You're trying to turn this. You're trying to turn this.
You've been wrong.
No, you're trying to turn this into debate. There are
It's
business
not a debate.
people. There are
But
business
you're wrong.
people.
You've
Yeah,
been
that are
wrong.
clapping.
You've been wrong
Yes.
all your life on this stuff. 21 million people at least have come in the last 3.5 years, unvetted, unchecked. We don't know anything about them. How about this? Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of California.
Newsom.
He signed Newsom, I call him.
Do you think?
No, he corrected me. I said, that's the first time I've been corrected.
There are CEOs out here. If they said
Yeah,
those
and they
sort of things
laughed.
about a rival CEO, they'd be sacked. Do you think
I know,
it's
but they
fine
don't
for
have
a
to
president?
survive like me. They don't have to go through what I have to go through. There has never been a president that's been treated like me, so I have to fight my own way.
Yeah, and the audience is just like, yeah, boy.
It's
Chicago.
There are businessmen out here. There are CEOs financially armed to the teeth. And do bundle up. It's awfully cold outside. He has no answer. Yes. Wait, what do you want to say? Yes, there are businessmen here who, by the way, of course, predicted the market crash. They created the subprime loan market for housing. They were the beneficiaries of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. And, of course, they were too big to fail, so they repeatedly socialized losses while privatizing profits. And they don't seem to like you. That's a good thing. This guy doesn't realize he's like Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
Except if you were retarded, he doesn't realize that he's getting his ass beaten, and he seems to enjoy it. He took such a beating, he needs to see a doctor. If you like this video, you want to see more, you can hit the notification bell to know when more videos are up, or just watch weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. We live stream. It's actually live, where we interact with you. And we are so happy to be here with you, because it's a known fact that content creators online are the happiest among us.